Two gentlemen you may have heard of, United States Senator Rick Santorum and Attorney General Mike Fisher. And I'm making the rounds here this evening, and I'm recognizing some old friends of mine. When I was very involved in politics, it's good to reconnect. I see here tonight Representative Kerry Beddinghoff is here, my former landlord in Harrisburg, for a brief period of time. And I hope my rent checks got there on time, Representative. I'm sure you would tell me if they didn't.
The interest is adding up.
Yeah. And I've run into some fellow sportsmen from Elk County, where I hunted as a young man when my father used to drag me out of the hunting camp at 4 a.m. on a 35-mile forced hike over the mountains in search of deer that we never were able to find. But yes, I am a candidate for the Republican nomination to the United States Senate in 2012. I'm asking Republican voters across Pennsylvania to allow me the opportunity to replace Robert Casey as your United States Senator. I believe I will bring a new and independent spirit and perspective to our nation's capital. I'm not a career politician. I've never held elective office. I'm not the son of a governor. I'm the son of a traveling salesman from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who worked his entire life and raised a family of 6 on full commission pay. No salary, no benefits. If he didn't get up and go to work every morning and sell some furniture at the beginning of the month, we didn't get a paycheck at the end of the month. And it's that type of pay structure that teaches a man the values of hard work and perseverance and living within one's means. And those are some of the values that are sorely missing in Washington, D.C. today. In the first part of my adult life, I was immersed in politics, from campaigns to governing. I worked in both branches, in the legislative branch and the executive branch. I worked in both capitals, in Harrisburg and in Washington, D.C. I worked in the United States Senate in Washington, in the very office currently occupied by Senator Casey. In the second part of my adult life, I became a lawyer with a general law practice and an owner of a small law firm. My wife and I own the firm. It's very small, but we're very proud. And I know how hard it is to run a small business because I do it every day. Now, over the past 2 years, I've watched as our president and his allies in the Congress have used the financial crisis of 2008 as an excuse to preside over the largest and most intrusive expansion of the federal government since the New Deal. From their bailout of Wall Street, to their stimulus spending to protect special interest groups, to their takeover of private companies and private industries, to passing that abomination known as Obamacare, the President and his allies in the Congress have launched an assault on our freedoms, on our liberties, and on the American way of life. And I believe we are living right now in an historic moment in our nation's history. We have a president and his allies in the Congress who are trying to transform our country into something our founding fathers never intended for it to be. We have a president and his allies in the Congress who are trying to transform a free and proud and prosperous people into dependents and wards of the state. This is what I have been witnessing and watching, and this is why I feel called and compelled to leave the comforts of my private life to go to Washington, D.C. and stop the Obama-Casey agenda in its tracks and take our country back. My political philosophy is this: we must rededicate ourselves to the principles of our founding fathers. We must restore the constitutional republic they created and bestowed upon us, where the federal government understands its role is not to make us safe or take care of us. Its role is to ensure that we remain free. Where the government understands it does not grant us rights, that our rights are bestowed upon us by our Creator. Where the government protects the individual God-given rights of the American people. Where it protects the right to life, the right to bear arms, the right to private property, where it maintains individual rights for all, not special rights for a privileged few, where it maintains a free enterprise system, where it stays out of matters the Constitution places in the hands of the states and the people, where it defends and protects its borders, because a nation without borders is no longer a nation, where it adheres to a foreign policy based upon the principle that we are a republic and not an empire, an American first foreign policy that puts the national security interests of the American people first, a government that understands the fundamental principle upon which this country was founded, that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because that is what America is all about. That is what makes America great. That is why America is exceptional. That is what makes America that shining city on the hill. That is what I love about being an American, and that is why I'm running for the United States Senate. Thank you very much.